hungry. Hi everyone, this is QuakeMan. So, judging by what you just saw, for me doing a really dumb skit, I know this is Gamebox, but I saw Assassin's Creed today. The 4th video game movie to come out this year. Now, I know I didn't do a review for Ratchet and Clank. I didn't do a review for Angry Birds, and I missed out on doing Warcraft, even though I kind of promised I should have done that. But to give you a best idea, I felt that this year of video game movies was relatively the best year we've ever had. Since almost every video game movie past that were really, really bad. Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Doom. But, again, this year I think was pretty well. Ratchet and Clank wasn't perfect, and it did too much to be a kid's movie, but it had a good enough source material to be a good enough enjoyable movie for people who are fans of the game. Angry Birds surprised the hell out of me, even though I still think the game is terrible for the iPhones and the Androids. But for a game that had no story and the animation wasn't cheaped out, Angry Birds was not bad, but not amazing. And Warcraft, that was probably the best video game movie I've seen to date. Not saying much because it still had a major jarring problems with how it transitioned to how it jumped, and for anyone who's never played Warcraft 1, which most people probably haven't, that this movie may be very hard for anyone to understand, and I definitely understand the problem with that. So, after we had 3 movies that weren't 10 out of 10, but they weren't 0, and they were much better than every video game movie we had to date, really, really made me want excited for the Assassin's Creed. Now, I will admit, I haven't played many Assassin's Creed games. This is actually the only one I own. I haven't even finished it. So I will say that I'm not a diehard fan of the Assassin's Creed series, and I'm not super knowledgeable of the world and the canon of the series. So keep that in mind when I try to talk about this movie. So on to the movie. Assassin's Creed. Now, one credit I will give it to is I like the fact that they have this take place far away from anything that has been shown from the games. They don't mention Desmond. They don't mention how Desmond existed in Nostromo or now he's dead or anything like that, which, by the way, sorry if that was a spoiler if you haven't played 3. But I like the fact that they at least acknowledge Nostromo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They acknowledge a lot about the Creed. That my friend told me after I just saw this tonight about how everything is permitted and nothing is true. I think those are the 2 things he told me. So there's that. For the movie, it had a lot for people who are fans of the games. I think there was a lot of Easter eggs there that I probably didn't catch. There probably were some items that were from past games from like Ezio, Altair, Connor, whoever was in Black Flag because I don't know his name, or whoever's in Unity, Syndicate, Rogue, and the Liberations, the one that was on PSP or the Vita that got an HD later down the line. But there was probably references there. I couldn't tell because I don't know the games. But I do recognize a lot that was there. And I will give them credit that, again, this is probably the best source material movie we have since Warcraft, honestly. But I will say that this movie does fall short in a lot of ways. What I said in the intro is no joke to say that actually happens in the movie. There is a literal scene where Michael Fassbender says with a stern face to one of the guys, "I'm hungry." And he does it twice. It's such a joke and a meme in my opinion. Me and my friend kept laughing in the car about that. But that's one scene compared to the rest of the movie. When it got to the action scenes of him being in the animals, which, by the way, I know people think it's dumb to be in this claw thing, but I think it's impressive, and you'll see why in the movie if you haven't seen it in past trailers. I have questions about how they were able to do that fully, but I like the design of the animals and the claw and all this other stuff. I also like what they showed of the assassin. I think they called him Aguilera. It's like Agleir or something like that. In the Spanish Inquisition. Now, I will say that some people may hate this. The movie mostly takes place in the Atomos building, and he does go into the Atomos like 3 times. And a lot of times they're usually for key sort of plot moments for what is going on. Sorry about that. I'll cut that out later. But a lot of the movie had a lot of expedition dump. A lot. And for people who are fans of the game may be okay, but I will say for an average moviegoer that can't be good. When you just have people talking and dumping everything on you in a very awkward way, that could be a problem. I will say I kind of wish they did keep a lot of the movie mostly in the Assassin's Creed part, show more of this assassin, his past, his story, but they don't really, and that I think that will disappoint some people. But because this is not based off of a game, I like the fact that they add at least a little bit of freedom. There are some scenes that just make no sense. There's some cuts that are really bad. But overall, I did enjoy this movie. But it wasn't good enough. Just like Warcraft. There are just so much that missed the mark. So this isn't the video game movie that will save the video game movies. Just like Ratchet and Clank wasn't let, and neither was Warcraft. But I will say for what they had, it's not bad. If you're a fan of the games, I do recommend seeing it, but don't be super wowed and impressed. And the movie ends in such a cliffhanger way that it feels like it's going to get a sequel, but again, we won't know until the box office from this movie. And if the reviews are telling me much, I don't know what's going to happen. And this isn't a Warcraft movie where that succeeded in a foreign market, and that's how it got its money back the most. Assassin's Creed may not hit silver status in terms of its budget, and I don't think it will hit gold. But if it does hit either of those marks, it may get a sequel. I thought now, in terms of actors, I thought Michael Fassbender was not bad, except for that one scene where he says "I'm hungry," but he was actually very good about the situation that's going on. But later in the film, motivations are weird. Some of the motivations for him, Sophie, which is the doctor character that's helping him through this, they're odd, and there is a liar reveal moment with Sophie and Michael Irons, I think, character, who was supposed to be Sophie's father. But, it's sad to say that it didn't hit the mark for me, but I know a lot of people may really like that. And I think that's fine. But in the general audiences, this is not the highbrow, but it's not terrible compared to Mortal Kombat, Super Mario Bros., Doom, Tomb Raider, Silent Hill, and the list goes on. But I will say that if you're interested, go see it, but don't expect a whole lot, because it does miss a lot of marks just like Warcraft did. I hope you enjoyed this review, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the little silly skit I did in the intro. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and take care. God damn it. Alright. Why am I laughing over this?